The 2023 Covered California income chart and why the numbers change. Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com, and Covered California has released their income chart for the 2023 open enrollment period. And what many people find baffling is that later on in 2023, those numbers will change and they don't understand why. And I'll try and explain some of that. So if we go back to 2022, and at the beginning of that year for the open enrollment, which started in 2021, Covered California was using the federal poverty levels for 2021. Now, Covered California, their role is to determine subsidies based on the federal poverty level and income and the different programs like the Enhanced Silver Plans. And for 2021, the federal poverty level for a single adult was $12,880. And so they used that all through 2022, because that's one of the rules of the ACA. That's how everything is put together. During the open enrollment, you use the most recent FPL, and that continues into the next year. However, there are programs that Covered California does not control, but when you fill out the application, they must screen for, such as whether an adult or a child is eligible for Medi-Cal. Now, these federal poverty levels, the income amounts, are set by the federal government, and they are updated in January. So in January 2023, there will be new federal poverty level income amounts, and then it'll take some time and all the agencies will get those put into the system, and Covered California usually updates their income chart around March of the following year. But the columns that I have marked here as 2022 are the columns that are directly related to Medi-Cal. So that 138%, that's Medi-Cal for adults. 213% is the Medi-Cal for pregnant women. 266% of the federal poverty level is the income amount where children that are dependents, 18 years old and younger of their parents, are Medi-Cal eligible, and 322% is the Medi-Cal Access Program for pregnant women. Now, Covered California doesn't control those. They don't administer those. Those are Medi-Cal, and when the federal poverty level changes, those numbers for eligibility must also change. So Covered California updates their income chart, and then all of a sudden those four columns no longer match, because if you do the math, if you take 100% for federal poverty level for an adult in the 2022 Covered California income guide of $12,880 times 138%, it comes out to $17,775, not the $18,755. But that $18,755 number is based on the new federal poverty levels for 2022. But Covered California is administering their subsidy program, and again, the way the ACA rules are written, they're using the latest published FPLs during the open enrollment period. And the open enrollment is always, a couple months before the new year. So when we look at the 2023 income chart, you'll notice that 100%, which is the federal poverty level, is higher, and that's the 2022 number. And if you go through and you multiply out that 13,590 times those different percentages, they all work. Come March, those specific columns, 138, 213, 266, and 322, will change. They'll go up, and the math will no longer work. But that is because we will have a higher poverty level, federal poverty level, issued in January, and Covered California must put those on the income chart, because if you're an adult and your income when you come into Covered California in 2023 is under 138, you'll be Medi-Cal. Now, you're okay when you come into open enrollment and you come in under those numbers, it's all good. If you make a change in the middle of the year, or you enroll in the middle of 2023, and the federal poverty numbers have changed and been updated, your application will be subject to those higher numbers in those 4 different columns. And so sometimes it does trigger Medi-Cal for certain people if they make a change and their income is just a few dollars below one of those Medi-Cal income amounts that has increased. It's pending Medi-Cal. So that's one thing you want to be very cognizant about, of the different iterations of the income chart. So there'll be this chart here that is published in October 2022. There will be an updated income chart about March 2023. So it can still be a little bit complicated and baffling. If you have any questions or comments, you may leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. So I'm Kevin Knaus for InsureMeKevin.com.